Hey y'all, I am so happy to be back in my studio doing a little crafts, and my gosh, I have missed y'all. I don't know about if you've missed me, but I have missed y'all because I just love getting on every day and just having a little talk, doing a little bit of crafts. So today I've got an experiment actually. I've been watching some craft videos. That helps me get my brain going and getting everything ready to do a craft. And I have seen a number of ways that people are putting tissue onto other things like wood or whatever. There's either they use their hands, or hey Marilyn, they use their hands, or they use some saran wrap. So I don't know what the best is, but we're going to find out today. Hey, Jan, we're going to find out today what the best thing is to do is. Now, Paula went to the dollar store like, gosh, a couple of months ago, and she picked up these cute little blocks from the dollar store. They're 2.5-inch square, little cubes, and I love them. And I did not know, hey Rebecca, I did not know what in the world we were going to do with them, but they were cute, and I was going to do something. Hey Luana, everybody's jumping on, yay, I miss you guys. So I decided that we're just going to cover them. We're going to decorate them on all sides, and then we're going to put them on a little tray that I bought, and we're going to just use it for a little decoration. We can put it on our table. We can put it on our mantle. We're just gonna decorate. Oh y'all, thank you, thank you. Okay, so here's what my plan is. I painted these white first, so you didn't really have to watch paint dry. Now, and I got tissue paper. I got most of them from the Dollar Tree that I just pick up here and there when I think it's cute. But I also got, look, animal print. I'm not one to wear animal print, but I like it on other people, so I found some of that, and it was 3 of them for 98 cents, not dollars. And so I've just got just a bunch of them, and we're just going to decorate these, but I want to look and see what really is the best way to put tissue paper on wood. So let's just look. So we're going to use Mod Podge. Now Mod Podge, if you don't have any, Elmer's glue works just as good. Just water it down just a little bit. Hey, so glad you're here. So we're just going to do that on one side. I've put all 4 of my blocks together. They're going to look so cute. So I'm going to set them up where the wood grain is all pretty much the same. When they cut this, and it was a long one like here, they cut it here, they cut it here, and it made that wood grain. You probably cannot see what in the world I'm talking about, but it has a wood grain. Hey, Ann. So we're going to leave it up because I want that texture of that wood grain to show through my tissues today. So we're going to do that. So bear with me a minute. We're going to add a little bit of Mod Podge. Just a generous amount. We don't want to get a whole lot that we're just going to mess it up. But I am so glad, you know, I don't know about y'all, but with my family and friends, we have had one thing right after another happen. Just constantly something. We've had sickness, we've just had some disagreements, we've had people having to leave, we've had all kinds of things going on. Okay, I'm just going to do this one with my fingers first. But let me tell you the best thing, God didn't leave us. Did he, Jan? He did not leave us alone. He tells us in Deuteronomy 31:6, I will not leave you or forsake you. And you know what? I'm here to tell you that my God stuck with me, stuck with my friends, stuck with my sick relatives, and we're okay. We can write this off as guess what happened to us one time. Hey Jenny, it's like an experience that we have that we will not forget. And it was not as bad as we thought it was when it was happening, right? Okay, so I've just put this paper right on there and I mashed it with my fingers. just squished it down like this. Sometimes if I get a little bit of a wrinkle, I'll pull it up a little bit and lay it back down, and just, it's smooth to me, and I'm happy with it. But we're gonna see what else works better. So I've got my X-Acto knife, and I'm just gonna cut in between all the blocks, and I tore it. So we're gonna have to fix it back with that. This is what happens. So what we need to do first, this is telling me, is we need it dry right before we do the X-Acto knife. So people tell me, oh, I do it with it wet. I'm not going to listen to what they said because I just messed it up. So we're all in this together. This is our experiment. And I'm so glad y'all are here. But it seems like everybody right now has something going on with their family or their friends. And it's just like, God, is this ever going to end? But this is where I come back and say, look at Deuteronomy. It says he's not going to leave us or forsake us. He's not going to. And I love it that every time that we have something like this that happens, we can look back on other things that have happened in our lives. And we lived through it, and we learned a lesson. Because if we don't learn a lesson, why are we going through this? I think God teaches us what to do. Okay, so that was true. You do need to have this dry before we cut it. That's right, because it's cutting really, really good. And what I'm going to do on here, on that little spot that I messed up, I'm just going to patch it. So I'm just going to cut a little spot, a little piece of paper. I'm going to glue it right back on there. Right like so. And we're going to see if it's going to show up when we get through. Because, you know, I just mashed it with my fingers. That was easy enough for me. Probably when I get through, I'll go back and put another layer of Mod Podge on there, just so that it is pretty and it has a little shine to it. Hey, Debbie. Gosh, I have missed y'all so much. And I talked to Paula, and she should be here somebody's pretty soon, just to visit for a little while. And I don't want to go into details, but I would appreciate it if you pray for my Paula, because it's just not the same around here without her. Okay, so it's dry, and I'm just going to cut it. Work just like a charm. Okay. And I can go back later, and when I get this, to let this dry really good, then I'm going to go back and I'm going to sand the edges just a little bit, just to kind of cut off the old. But this has still got a little damp to it, so we're going to leave it alone just like it is right now. Okay, so we're going to do the next part. Now, somebody told me to glue it, really put a lot of Mod Podge on there. Dry the Mod Podge and then iron the paper on, that you never get wrinkles. We'll try that. So, everybody has their own method, and unless you try it, you just don't know what the best method is. I'm going to try really hard not to get glue everywhere. So, the idea is that if you get this wet enough and let it dry, get it thick enough, not wet enough, and let it dry, the heat is going to generate, it's going to wake the Mod Podge back up. And that way you never have wrinkles, okay? So let's try that. I think I might just give it another layer just to make it happy. Hey, Kay. Gosh, I'm so glad to see everybody today. Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit more on there. Speaking of Deuteronomy, We recently had a 21-day fast at our church. And God said, and I believe him, that he's bigger than our problems. He says, okay, check this out. He said that he's like scales and that we should weigh our problems. Put our problems, imagine a scale, put our problems on that scale. And he's going to be on this other side of the scale. And he says that he is so much bigger than those scales that he can fix our problems. Every problem that we have, he can fix. He can fix our marital problems. He can fix our family illnesses. He can fix our disagreements with our friends. He's not this. He's so much bigger than us. So when this is over, I'll give you a number. When this is over, I want you to sit down and think about your problems. Maybe you don't have one, but you will sooner or later. Everybody does. I want you to just thank God that he's bigger than those problems, that he's got it. He's got it taken care of. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to cry. You don't have to scream. You don't have to go worry about it, because he's got it taken care of for us. That is so amazing. So amazing. Okay, so this is dry. Okay, so I'm going to take a yellow one. And I'm using the thin ones because of the wood grain. So we're going to see if this works, okay? So I'm just going to lay it on there. Theory is iron it. So I've got it on rayon. We'll see what that does. Never dried wood with an iron before, but we'll see. And the girl that told me about it, she swears she never does anything other than dries the Mod Podge and irons it. So we'll see. Well, it did stick in there very good. I think I might be in love with ironing my Mod Podge. It does look good, y'all. And I didn't tear it because it was dry. I think this is a good one. Okay, so we're going to chalk this up as being a good way to do it. So let's cut through it like we did. No problems cutting through it. No problems at all. Okay. And at this time, I can go back and then cut all the extra stuff off. I should have got a sanding block. So I can cut it off, y'all, and not have to wait for it to dry. It sounds like a good deal to me. So far, I like that better than my method. Much better. Mine's still down. Okay, let's try another one. Let me take this off. Do you feel like you're in science class and you're doing experiments? I used to love science class. You know what? Hang on. Talk among yourselves. Nothing beats a good sandpaper block. And you can get them at the Dollar Tree, of course. Honestly, if you want a good price on them, they have them at the Tractor Harbor Freight. They have them at Harbor Freight cheaper, and you can get a bundle of them. Okay. So I think it's still a little damp, but that's okay. It's not hurting anything, and it's coming off really good. But I do like the ironing method. That's pretty good. Now we're going to be putting it on a tray that I probably bought. Gosh, I bet I bought that in the last spring course, I got it at the Dollar Tree. I only had $1 for it, but I never could figure out what I wanted to use for it. Hey, Alexis. Oh, my gosh, girl. Haven't seen you in forever. I'm so glad you joined us today. Okay, so we're just kind of doing it. Okay, it looks really, really good, y'all. Mine is still damp. So, y'all try the iron thing and see if you like the iron one too. Because the iron one's working really good. And I'm a little rougher with the green, the one that I ironed, and that's working too, really good too. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So, mess out of the way. And let's go for, now I was also told that saran wrap worked really well. So let's do saran wrap next. That you didn't have to guide your fingers on it. I don't press my finger, I don't move my fingers, like I don't rub it when I do mine. So I don't know what makes that such a good thing, but because I pat it on, because this is super, super thin. You're only wanting to use, if you use napkins, you're only going to use 1 ply. If you use 2 ply, oh girl, that just messes up bad. It comes apart and you've got a great big old mess. So let's get this one on here. And she says, lay it on there and then press it with saran wrap. Okay. Lay it on there, they say. And if I'm doing it wrong, you tell me what I'm doing wrong. And then just rub it. I don't see why I can't pat it, because I like to pat it. But we'll see. That is pulling out the wrinkles. That is really good. It is pulling out the wrinkles. It did pull out the wrinkles. It did really better. It's better than patting. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can get this up. And then lay it right back down. Okay. I rubbed it with this instead of laying it and rubbing it on there. So don't do that. That's dumb. I just tore my paper. So we won't do that. Let's see here. We're going to chalk this up. Just don't do that. Don't rub it with the saran wrap. Put it on there and rub the saran wrap, and that works good. It works real good. Honestly, I had my doubts about drying the Mod Podge first and then putting it on. So, you know what? Okay, so when we get through, I have this one to patch and make a little bit better than I did. But you know, we just gotta learn from our mistakes. Gosh, if you don't learn what you messed up, you'll never learn anything. And you can't learn from somebody else's mistakes, that's for sure. Okay, so that would have worked well if I had not had in my mind to rub. So, okay, so we got that. And we're going to try wax paper. They told me wax paper was good. So we're going to try with wax paper. Now, one lady that I watched did do wax paper on her iron, and she put that down. But I don't see that that did anything. I don't see that it, I'm really in love with doing the iron thing. Okay, so I got my new paper. Put it on there. Wax paper, we'll try that one. And we're going to rub it with the wax paper. I don't have the urge to rub it with the saran wrap like I had with the other. So I do think that if I'm going to do this, I would do wax paper before I would saran wrap. Although the wax paper is kind of hard to peel off. So, no saran wrap. Erase that from your little minds. Don't do that. Hey, Lydia. In the next couple of days, I've got several things in my mind that we're going to do where we can kind of decorate a little bit that will work for Valentine's and for Easter both. I'm not really big on doing a whole lot for Valentine's Day. My kids and grandkids are all grown and doing their own thing. So Valentine's are not really anything that I do that much anymore. But I do like to kind of combine Valentine's and Easter because they're both about love. Aren't they about love? Did Jesus not love us so much that he died for us and came back on the third day? Was that not, what kind of love do you have for someone that you don't even know? Would you go through that for someone you don't know? That, my friend, is love. Now, I can say I love my friends, I love my family, but when it gets down to it, at what point would I have said, okay, God, let's don't do this anymore, I changed my mind. I don't want to go through this pain, I don't want to die. He loved us so much, and that just blows my mind. So Valentine's Day, I'm just going to let Valentine's just run into Easter and let that love continue that whole next month. Okay, so I'm good with that. That worked fairly well. And I was going to try one with the wax paper in the iron, but I'm just going to tell you right off, don't even try. Because just go ahead and use the, use just the iron. There's no need in wax paper on there. That just works really good like it was. Now, I'm going to go ahead and finish up this later on. I'm not going to let y'all sit there and watch paint, glue dry. But I did want to let you know some kind of cute little procedures that you can do, techniques, let me call them techniques that work well. And you try them and you decide which works best for you. I do a lot of Mod Podge on tissue paper, on napkins, so I did need them to turn out just as good as they were. I'm sorry I'm glitching. I keep seeing that every once in a while. So we're going to pretend that these white sides are another napkin. We're going to decide they're this cute little animal print. But I also got some of the shredded paper from Walmart. Walmart's come through for me pretty good this time. Shredded paper. Here's the little tray that I bought. It's messed up. It's got some paint on there. Hey, Lacey, we have used it for a little bit of everything because I couldn't figure out what to do with it. But we're not going to worry about it because the paper is going to cover it up. And I'm just going to kind of arrange them in here where they just kind of look a little different. I may put a candle right here. You know, there's just so much that you can do with it. I'm going to, where's one I hadn't used? Right here. Just kind of group them together. Do what you want with them. Play with them. I'm going to get, like I say, I'm going to get a candle and put in here. Probably to give it a little height. Maybe here on the end. Like that. But this has been so easy. It's cute. It's easy to do. It didn't cost me any money. $1 for the blocks and a whole bunch of tissue paper for only $1. So you can't beat that. We got to play. We got to see what worked best. I'm stuck with the iron. From now on, I'm ironing my Mod Podge. So I hope y'all enjoyed it today. If you like my crafts, if you will be sure and go up and hit that button up there so you don't miss any of my crafts. I'd appreciate also if you liked it, comment, let me know. Thank you. It's cute, she says. I appreciate that so much. And it's just been nice just to sit down, spend some time with my friends that I don't get to see very often, or some I don't even know at all, and just relax and have a good time. And remember, y'all, when you're going through this, Deuteronomy says he's not going to leave us or forsake us. Thanks for watching. I just love y'all so much. And remember,